This is Tin Caps Baseball on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Welcome back once again, everybody, to Tin Caps on Deck, the Tin Caps pregame show brought to you by Hoopy Insurance Services. It's a beautiful day here in downtown Fort Wayne. Final day of a six-game, actually technically 6.5-game series featuring the Tin Caps and the visiting Great Lakes Loons. And it's been a good week for Fort Wayne for the most part. And we'll talk about that in a moment. As again, this being Sunday, we get to talk with Tin Cap team president Mike Nutter. And Mike, it's been a relatively good week on the field. It's been a relatively good week off the field. Your thoughts on the last 5 or 6 days?
It's been really good. It's been a blessing to have such great weather. The highlight with great on-field success, as you said, really solid attendance numbers, as you alluded to. One of the best things so far this week has been the service day that we did. And we had a lot of us out there, and I was with Mr. Matthews and Daly and Jerry Downs and today's starting pitcher. And we served lunch at the rescue mission to 200 people. It's been a great week. The impact, a lot of focus is always done on the on-field performance. Certainly looks like we're going to come up short of the playoffs this year unless we'd somehow run the table or something like that. But what there is no shortage of year over year here is the impact in the community, the region. Proud of the fact that we're the only 2-time winner of Major League Baseball's award for the best community impact for any minor league team. So there's a lot to be thankful for. And listen, I don't remember I don't mean this as a shot against the home team, the visiting team, or anything like that. I don't remember the last time we won the season series against the Great Lakes Loons. And we've had their number. And if they end up just on the outside looking in, and they still got plenty of time to catch the Whitecaps with a 1.5-game deficit, but they're going to look back at some of the games and think, wow, Fort Wayne had our number.
Yeah. Ironically, Fort Wayne, for the most part, has had the number of the South Bend Cubs this year. Cubs are in the playoffs already, first half West champions. But with that win last night, it does give Fort Wayne the season series at least a tie. 10-9, I think. Or no, 11-8. 11-8 with one more game to go today. Briefly, let's talk about on the field. The last 2 nights have been exciting baseball in some ways, frustrating baseball in others, but between the 2 games, over 12,000 fans came here to Parkview Field. Both games went into extra innings. Both games resembled a prize fight, especially the Friday night game, where you had 5 ties and 3 lead changes. And I think the fans, for lack of a better phrase, got their money's worth the last 2 nights especially.
There's no question about it. I feel like, again, keeping everything positive. It's a beautiful day. We'll have another crowd today of pushing 5,000. I felt like the one a couple nights ago, we had it a handful of times, and it just kept slipping away. And that's okay. That's developmental baseball. That's what some of this stuff is. Nobody wants to win every game more than me, but that's not the way it works. And so we kept fighting. You know, when we look back at the end of the year, we're going to say, wow, we probably didn't win as many games as we had hoped or wanted to, but they sure never quit. Effort hasn't been a problem. Johnny Matthews had these guys playing and pitching and running hard and doing everything. Saw some wild plays on that one on Friday night that I want to make clear this is all above board and none of it's meant to be negative. The rundown play, the way that had ended, I don't recall ever seeing a play like that where the guy dropped to the ground. And I mean, it was just a unique thing without being critical of anybody involved. And we kept coming back and man, if we could have made a couple plays in that 10th, then we come to bat bottom 10 down just the 1. And who knows, maybe it's July 4th and we played for 5 hours. And then last night, another one. Where a few weeks ago, maybe down those runs to a really good Loons team, you'd have thought, maybe this one isn't going to go our way. But again, the fight, the comeback, and then you end up in extras again. I was really, really happy for Lamar King. I don't know all these guys extremely well, but he's such a nice, respectful, professional, coachable young man that it works incredibly hard, that is really driven. And you just see him, and you could just see the double earlier down the left field line where he roped that ball,
Yeah.
and then the game winner off a guy that it looked like he was throwing about 105 miles an hour. Just really, really neat stuff. Back and forth. Crowds have been into it. Be no different today. And then, we turn the page, if you don't mind, and the Reds come in, and it's the last of everything, right? So the last family feast on Tuesday, the last puffer bellies on Wednesday, Wizards and fireworks, and Thirsty Thursday on, obviously, Thursday. Our great buddy Bird Zirk comes back in Friday for fireworks and a Bird Zirk appearance Saturday, fireworks. Then a week from today, it's the finale. It's 105. But for everybody listening, we remind you, not only is it the mystery condiment chase bobblehead today, but it's also your last Midwest Box Breaks post-game autographs. Next week, we let the guys start packing up apartments and all those kinds of things. So today's the last one of these. It's been another great season at the gate and in the community, and we're excited for the final week of Tin Caps baseball.
I'd like to close out our chat today, Mike, talking about an event last night that means a lot to you, to me, and hopefully to all of our listeners. Caps Against Cancer. And to me, it was phenomenal. My dad died of cancer. My in-laws died of cancer. Your dad has had cancer. It affects everybody. And yet, there was a stoppage of play in the fourth inning. And we've seen it on TV with Fox in the World Series, where the players on both teams stood up in front of their respective dugouts, and they had sheets that they were given to mention, to write down a name of a person who either has cancer or had cancer. We had, both on the TV and radio side, we had doctors with us in the third inning.
That was great.
It's just, it makes us stop and think for a moment. Baseball is a game. Cancer is a challenge, but the atmosphere was absolutely phenomenal.
Really well set up there by you, Mike. I mean, that's the thing. We love the baseball. Sports in this country probably at times take on too much exposure, popularity, precedence. And you and I are lifers. We love it. But the heroes are the physicians that you had on. And there weren't a lot of blank cards in the crowd and by the players, because it's impacted so many of us. You mentioned your family, my family with my dad and sister, and my wife's family is riddled with it and lost many people over the years for cancer. And so it's baseball can be the conduit to such bigger and better things. And the baseball itself is awesome, but it can be that we're rallying together for one another. I got to be with a young guy named Davis last night. Poor guy was assigned to the team president for his shadow, and that was me. But this young guy out of Whitco, I got to meet the entire family, and I'm better for it. I went out to the home run porch, and I said, wait a minute. Your family is sitting in 111. He said, this is the rest of my family. They had to have 50 people out in the home run porch, all of them with a shirt that talked about Davis's journey, and then at the bottom it said Joshua 1 verses 9. Anybody out there can Google that if they have any interest. And my point is, it connects us. Maybe with cancer last night, because we've all dealt with it. Maybe with faith and cancer last night in the family that I was with. And again, that wasn't for everybody. And the different stuff, it's absolutely one of the best things. I've never been more proud than to wear the shirt around that they give us on that night. And on the back, where it says the Packnet Family Cancer Institute. Mike Packnet is the greatest CEO that I've met. How he lived his life, his faith, his family. It's an inspiration. He's an inspiration to so many of us around. And now him, and because of his wife Donna's journey, their names on that Cancer Institute out there. And it's just so awesome. If we'd have lost the game last night, and I'm glad we didn't, the impact wouldn't have been lessened in any way. And it's an awful disease, but it's affected so many of us that even in this country from time to time, where it's divided with Republican and Democrat, and hopefully not racially, but I'm also a realist. Cancer is one of those things that can bring everybody together to say, let's put some time, effort, energy, funds into something, because if we can ever kick that, and so much progress has been made, the world will be so much better off.
Let's do this again next Sunday.
Let's do it and recap another amazing season downtown.
That's Tin Cap Team President Mike Nutter, back with more in a moment on the Tin Caps Radio Network.
Podcasts by Federated Media.